This video is brought to you by Patreon. I hope you'll consider supporting the channel. Thank you, bye-bye. Another console, another Mario Tennis. There's one certainty in the universe, and it's that if Nintendo puts out a new piece of plastic that plays video games, you can bet your ass they're gonna put tennis on it. You know, the Mario sports games in the Switch 1 generation have not had, like, the greatest reputation, let's just put it that way. I'm gonna paint in broad strokes here and say that the general consensus is that these games tend to launch not feeling the most feature complete, the most content rich, but then in the months following their release, you know, they tend to fill in the gaps. That was definitely something that bugged me a lot in the Switch 1 generation, was these sports games and the way that they were launching. It was not, I didn't like it. So it makes me feel good to get out here and say that, hey, Tennis Fever, they did it. Mario Tennis Fever is fun. Sitting here looking at my copy of the game and going, man, I wish I was playing that right now. Gotten a chance to get in there and dabble. I've mostly played online, to be fair. That is where I have spent the bulk of my time with this game so far, and that's where I imagine I'll be spending the rest of my time with it. What a chaotic clusterfuck of a tennis game in all the right ways. It's crazy, it's unbalanced, but it's a party game in all the right, fun kind of ways. You have 38 playable characters to choose from. That's a nice little amount right there, I gotta say. Hard to be too picky about that kind of roster size. If they sprinkle in some free updates this time, listen, I feel good about saying that we're at a point where we can accept those without feeling like we were gypped from the rip. All these different fever rackets that the game has just offer tons of different unique gameplay possibilities. It would be fun for me to be able to actually care about my rank online in the fever rackets brackets, but Rosalina makes that impossible. Look at this shit.
That's a high bounce.
What is that? Come on. But whatever, it's fun, who cares? Although maybe balance that a little bit. I found out very quickly that you can stinky cheese this thing up. Use the chuck racket. It pushes your opponent the whole way to the back and then you do a little lob. That is so dirty. It is so dirty. Well, that's the point of the rackets, right? There's an even amount of dirtiness going on all around here, so it's up to you to use the dirtiness to your advantage, even if it means playing Rosalina. There was a while there where she was the only character I would come across online. One DK versus 1,000 Rosalinas. Look at Diddy, he looks so good. Look at that fuzzy little monkey. Got a couple of different modes to dabble in. I don't know how much I'll continue to dabble in each of these, but they are fun extra options. You got some special courts and some special little things you can do. I played through the doubles tournaments with my wife. That was fun. Almost done with the singles tournaments. I gotta work my way through the Tower of Terror still. And then there's adventure mode. I haven't touched it. I don't know if I will. From everything I have heard, it's like 2 hours of tutorial stuff and then 2 hours of fun and then it's done. That's about what I expected. I'm not gonna lie, but I haven't played it, so you know, don't take my opinion too seriously there. I may play it just to unlock the remaining things that I need to unlock, but you know, if that's the one just kind of midpoint of the game, then like I think we're fine. We're doing fine here. Gotta say, it'd be nice to see them try to go all the way with like a little more of a fleshed out adventure mode, or just like scrap the whole thing altogether. You know, put those resources into fleshing out some more of the side modes and the multiplayer offerings. Like I think that would be the way to go about it for the future, because ultimately the multiplayer experience of this game is where you're gonna get the most out of Mario Tennis, as it is really any Mario sports game. I don't know anybody who plays tennis for the adventure mode. Good for you if you do, but it's the multiplayer, it's the online, that's where it's at. For the most part. I will say Nintendo isn't beating the stinky online allegations here. The vast majority of the time it does play fine online, don't get me wrong, but I definitely ran into enough matches where there was some lag or latency or even brief instances of stuttering that it was noticeable. Not game ruining by any means, don't get me wrong, but also not flawless. So yeah, I don't know, what more is there to say? Nintendo did a good sports game again. To be fair to Mario Tennis Aces, I heard that it did improve over time with updates, but I picked that one up on launch and then I barely touched it because man, it was barren. It's funny that it took 3 entries in the HD era of tennis for them to finally bring their A game to the table. Is good, is solid. Your mileage may vary with it being a $70 tennis game and all. If you ask me, something like this would feel right at home in the $40 to $50 kind of range, you know what I mean? That makes people angry on Twitter when I say it, but I don't know, that's just how I feel. Either way, I'm having fun. It's a good time. It's real easy to just pick up, get yourself into an online match real quick, and like within 5 minutes you're done and you can move on to the next one or put it down. Real easy pick up and play. The game fires up so fast. Watch this. It's that quick, man. It's that quick. So that's where we're at, man. Tennis is good again. You know, it reminds me a lot of Mario Power Tennis on the GameCube. That was always my favorite growing up. I'm sure it's inevitable that they're gonna do another golf. That's probably coming up after this, if I had to guess. Hopefully they can knock that one out of the park too with one of those fancy golfing home runs. Yeah, that's that's what you do in golf. If it were up to me, we would get a new Mario baseball. I think that would be cool. Haven't had one of those in a while. I don't know. All right, I guess we'll see. What do you think of Mario Tennis? Are you having fun with it? Did you even pick it up? Did you look at that price and go, I will say it didn't look like there were a ton of online lobbies when you go to like look for them. When I would set up a lobby, a lot of the same people would join in over and over. So I'll be curious to know how much that price tag is turning people away. I'm sure it's probably doing fine. It has Mario on the cover. That's all you need, really. Anyway, okay, yeah. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'm gonna go play more tennis. Bye-bye!